ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಮೇಡಮ್.
Yes.
Okay, just started.
Should we start?
Yes, sir, we'll start. The sir is audio healthy.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I thought that we'll briefly introduce, key participants. Like,
Yes.
I introduce myself very briefly. I am a psychiatrist by profession, and I did from PGI Chandigarh long back. Then I was in PhD for a couple of years, and then Sivagram, another medical college, and this Datta Meghnad Institute of Medical Sciences. For about four and a half years, I was in Kolhapur as a vice chancellor. And we know each other very well, Dr. Bhandari and myself. So this then we will listen to them.
Yes, I'm Director Research and Development, and it's always a nice opportunity to talk to Professor Sandeep Bhandari. Now we had been discussing from few months with Professor Bere that we need to interact with Professor Bhandari, and the last meeting was in NAC, and there was a lot of excitement at that time, and Professor Bhandari had been to our university and has been to our research house and was able to interact with us and was discussing what collaborative research we can do jointly and how we can improve on our collaborative research. So this is a nice opportunity, and thank you very much to Professor Bere and Professor Bhandari for including R&D of the IMS with us. Thank you very much.
Now I'll request our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Satish Kumar Bhandari, to give the opening remarks for this webinar.
Good afternoon. The advantage of webinar, I'm sitting at home and participating in the webinar because I had a meeting in another campus. Just now I came back from that. We are going for a smart village project. We are planning to convert our founders village or NITTE into a smart village. We had a discussion with the Industrial Rural Development Department and MSME group. Welcome, Dr. Bere, a good friend of mine. I should say that I was impressed by looking at his biodata.
Oh, thank you.
100 and odd publications.
I think it should be all our colleagues. Yeah, it should be circulated. I request Srinivas to circulate among our clinicians. And Professor, and I also welcome Professor Qazi Syed Zahiruddin, Professor of Community Medicine. As Professor Prakash Bere said, he's from the Psychiatry Department, the Professor of Psychiatry. Yes. And Qazi is from Community Medicine. What a good combination. I think when I see their CV, I think a lot of research related to psychiatry and community medicine. Yes. This is a very good example for interdisciplinary, whatever I can call interdepartmental research. And forget about interdisciplinary, even interdepartmental is not happening much in many colleges. They were very modest in telling their achievements. I think if you see their CV, Professor Prakash Bere is a BC Roy awardee. Yeah, he has received so many laurels. I think in each and every area he has got achievement. That shows that how one should build up his biodata. Then Qazi again is a professor and head of the department. He was a professor head of the department. Now he presently is the director of research in JNMC Wardha. So I think then when I met them, I thought we also, this is not a webinar in the sense, not I don't know how many universities are participating, but I thought our Nitya University, because it's mainly health related departments. And I see Professor Shastri and our Director of Research, Indrani Karunasagar, and Prakash, then Praveen Shetty, then Suchet, and others who are working in the laboratory of the medical college. I see a lot of people. I thought I should make Vardha as another family member. I think that's what when we were discussing with Prakash Behreji and Kazi, I said, why can't you have collaborative research between these two universities? Because there is a lot of scope, a lot of ideas which Prakash Behre will be talking to us, I think, in the next 30 minutes or 45 minutes. And I request Behreji and Kazi to handle some of the departments along with our research colleagues of the university and the pharmacy college also, and advise, because particularly one of the weaknesses of the most of the universities is research, innovation, and IPR patent is one of the weaknesses. I think Prakash ji will agree with me, and that part I think we are struggling for the last so many years. We are doing good work. I should congratulate my colleagues who are doing good work. But only area which we are finding difficult is the clinicians. And they say, we don't have time, we don't find time out of our busy schedule, we don't have time for research. As some professor, when I met, I think it was in Ghent University, he said, research should be part of our clinical work. He said, the administration, research, and teaching. These are the three legs of our academic activities. Research cannot be separated from our teaching, and even clinical work cannot be. Whatever we do as clinicians and as teachers, both undergraduate and postgraduate teaching, it should be converted into research. I think with these three words, I think we are doing a lot of activities. I don't want to highlight all those things. We have done a lot of activities and infrastructure, created infrastructure. We are giving funding for seed money for research and publication in the university. I think no university has done so much handholding to the clinicians and other faculty of the constant colleges. I'm very confident about that. But the thing is, this whatever input, whatever investment, it should be realized into some productive work in the form of publication, funding, and patents. With these few words, once again, I welcome Dr. Professor Prakash Behreji and Dr. Kazi, good friend of mine, Syed for this webinar. Thank you. Over to Srinivas Bhatt.
Thank you, sir. Now I welcome Dr. P.B. Behre, our senior most colleague in our department, Dr. Prakash B. Behre, to deliberate for another 20 to 25 minutes. Welcome, sir.
So long. Anyway, thank you, Satish and Srinivasa. And my purpose was that probably we can share what we are doing. The big issue is all over the India that the faculty who is already associate and professor, they ask this question: why should I write a paper? What is the advantage? Mujhe kya fayda? When I am a professor, I am not interested. And those colleges who got the practice allowed, so they are more keen doing practice rather than doing the research. So this problem came to us as well. So we discussed a couple of times and we decided that we'll give the incentive. And Jayed is able to tell us, the amount of the incentive. Like if it is published in an index journal like PubMed, Web of Science or Scopus, then probably we give 10,000 rupees. And if it is a book, it is probably amount 20,000. He can correct me because because I was director R&D before going to Kolhapur. And even some of the colleges, like we got to start with, I should say that we got, medical college, dental college, nursing college, physiotherapy college, and Ayurveda college. So in Ayurveda, they hardly find any index journal. So even then we are giving some incentive. Like earlier, the MCI says that Copernicus. So Copernicus will give some amount of money, maybe 1,500 something. Jerry can correct me; he's more updated about it. But we'll start from the beginning, like start from the UG. You may be having, undergraduates, MBBS, maybe 100, 150 seats. Like we got 250 seats. How many you are having?
150.
150, okay. So undergraduate, there is a ICMR scheme, short-term studentship. Everybody must be knowing, you must be using it. They give about 1,500 students in India per year. So middle of the December is the registration, and the middle of the January they end the registration, and by the end of January we have to submit the proposal. And there is one mentor, one faculty is the mentor. So in our place we encourage students to take part, like to psychiatrist, some teacher will guide you how to write, and we are getting good number of students getting the fund. So out of that, then the paper comes out, and Zahir will tell more detail. Some of the journal they ask for the publication fees. So how it is sorted out? You should pay the publication fees so that it is published in the PubMed. Even NEC, they said that you should have this Scopus, PubMed, Web of Science. So we should encourage this type of indexing. So try with the STS. From every department, everybody cannot do the research like it is a cricket. If there are few players who are bowler, few are good batsmen, hardly few are the all-rounder, and there is only one wicket keeper who may be batsman as well. Similarly, in faculty in the department, he may be very good teacher. Sometimes he may be very good surgeon, but he may not be a good teacher. And sometimes we'll find a good researcher, but he's not a good teacher, neither is a good teacher, nor is a good surgeon. So you use this person, you select the faculty, what they can do, and encourage them that, okay, you are very good in research. So you involve these people, 1 or 2 or 3 faculty from every department. And those who are a good teacher, let them teach. Those who are a good surgeon, let them do surgery. Select, 1 or 2 or 3 faculty. Similarly, you can select from the student. There are about 8 or 10 students you find very good in research, and try to encourage them to write the STS project. That is a small short-term studentship. Earlier, the amount was very less. Now they give 10,000 rupees per month for 2 months in summer, May, June. So out of that, publication can come out, and they can have their very good CV that they did the STS. Like, take the example of my elder son, long back, he is a 2000 batch. He got 3 consecutive years STS program of ICMR. So this is good, and then out of that, publication comes out. So catch hold of MBBS student who are good researcher. Then coming to PG, postgraduates for MD, MS, DM, MCH, and MDS in dental. The ICMR gives funding for writing thesis. So they have to submit the proposal. ICMR invite proposal for funding for MD thesis, MS thesis. There are 2 cut-off dates. One is 31st December and another is 30th June. And they should submit the proposal within the 1 year of their registration. And the amount is very good. Earlier it was 25,000. Now it has gone up to 50,000. So they give the money to write a thesis. So if suppose 10, 15 or 20 people submit the application from university, at least 2 or 3 will get it. That will improve the CV of the candidate, and that will improve your research. And then out of that, publication can come out. So we should make compulsory that every PG student should submit to ICMR. Suppose there are 40 PG or 50 PG. So out of 50, 40 will submit, and out of 50, at least 5, 6 will get it. They give 100 per year. 100. They select the 100 PG per year, and the amount is 50,000. And cut-off date is December and 31st December and 30th June. But within 1 year of registration, they should submit the application. It is a very simple form, very 1-page form with the registration, MBBS degree, and the synopsis of the MD topic and the ethical clearance, Institute Ethical Committee clearance. So you encourage them. Director R&D must be there from your side. He should encourage. And if you need any help, you can contact us. We'll tell you. Go to the ICMR website and find it out. And I told you about the publication that for the publication we give the incentive once in a year. So similarly, you can discuss with the management. Sometimes it's difficult to get the money from the management, but The vice chancellor is can convince the management so that they can give the money. This will be incentive for a faculty to write a publication, and out of that, once the publication is done, then NEC grading will go up. Research got very good marks. Now the UGC says that one faculty, two publication. Earlier it was, Dr. Satish must be knowing that earlier it was 1 to 1, but now they have increased it to 1 to 2. One faculty, two publication. So suppose there are 10 faculty, you should have 20 publications. So I have seen that some of the faculty, they are not interested at all. So remaining faculty should do 1 to 3 to compensate it. So this is the guideline. 1 to 2 is the compulsory one, mandatory. So issue the circle and encourage them. So this is briefly about this, what you can do from the UG, what you can do from the PGs. And then faculty also select some faculty who are interested. Suppose in psychiatry there are 10 faculty, select 1 or 2, younger generation, assistant professor, associate professor. They can be molded, they can help you. And research is a passion basically. We still do research. Like in this pandemic lockdown, I don't go to the hospital because I'm in high risk, because I'm above 65. Then there's diabetes and hypertension. So I utilize this time for all pending research paper and submitting it. So I've submitted almost 10 publications, which is 5 are accepted, and I think 5 will be accepted. Is a good quality publication. So this is my passion, because we did from PGI. So from PGI, the training is such that everybody should write a paper. So I utilize this time, this COVID pandemic, to write down the publication, and then coming to psychiatry, in psychiatry, what happened? Indian Psychiatry Society every year invite the application for the funding. This year, the last date was 15th May. The date is gone, but next year again you can apply. And Ajit Avasthi, who was earlier professor HOD of the PGI Psychiatry, he is the chairman, and they used to give 3 lakhs of grant. It is not important the grant, but it is a multi-center study. It is nationwide study, and it is published in very good journal abroad. So I have submitted the psychosocial aspects of the COVID-19. So let us see what happens. I submitted here that effect of marriage on mental disorder. Effect of marriage on mental disorder. Then Indian Council of Social Research, the last date was again probably 15th May. And they invited application on priority basis on COVID related. They have given the topic that these are the area where they can give the funding. So I submitted application of psychosocial aspects of the COVID-19. So psychiatry people can do that. Every time just from R&D department, they should look for all the website, ICMR, DST, then even Ayurveda, Ayush, the Indian Council of Social Science Research. They invite trust area and they say that submit the application, a small project, up to 30 lakh, 20 lakh, and they give small projects. So if you do a couple of small projects, you will have a huge amount of grant. So start with a little bit, then you will be big. So this is from my side, and then Jair is more expert now. He's a modern person, a public health person, and he's very popular in public health. So I think he can contribute more than me. I hand over to
Hello. Yeah.
It can be heard.
Yes. With me is Professor Abhay Gayadane. He's Director School of Epidemiology and Public Health, and I hope.
Good afternoon, sir. Bhandari,
Little louder.
good afternoon. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Abhay Gayadhane's voice.
Abhay.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. Good
Yeah, good
afternoon, sir.
afternoon. Yeah. Welcome for
Thank you, sir.
welcome Abhay Gaidane.
Yes.
He's from the community department. Very good researcher. Yes.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
continue, Azi.
You can put on the video. I can't see you.
Little louder.
Yes, of course, I'll be a bit louder. And thank you, Dr. Behere, for giving a brief introduction and about R&D, what R&D is doing in Datta Megi Institute of Medical Sciences. Most of the deemed universities are going on same lines, and some innovative things all deemed universities are doing. And Professor Bhandari had long time back told us about what good work R&D is doing in your university, and we were very impressed with the molecular epidemiology work which your university is doing also from you a lot of good innovative things which you are doing. Trauma, and as Professor Behere had said, we are doing now with Q ranking. The incentives we are giving is by Q ranking. You may have heard about the percentiles Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. It tells about the quality of publications. Most of the departments don't have good high impact factor journals. So the researchers have changed their mindset to now Q ranking. So Q1 ranking is the best quality journals. Q2, Q3, Q4. They are depends upon the percentile and discipline wise. So that prevents the problems of impact factor of the journal. So probably many universities like Manipal has also shifted their gap from giving from a high impact to Q ranking journals. And many more universities are now giving processing fees and incentives looking at those Q journals and Q ranking journals. And we have also moved to Q ranking, and we are giving incentives and processing fee accordingly. Same way, now as NAC and NRF have changed their mandates to giving only publications, they're considering publications of Scopus and Web of Science and not to other indexing journals. So also now we have requested all the constituent colleges like nursing, physiotherapy, Ayurveda and dental to also only publish in Scopus or Web of Science and PubMed. Like there's still a confusion going on with NRF and NAC whether they are able to collect data from PubMed database because it is through the author ID and not through the affiliation ID. Scopus PubMed doesn't consider probably they don't consider the affiliation ID. They only give author ID, so it becomes difficult for NAC or NRF to fetch the data. So, but still we are promoting to publish in PubMed as is one of the pioneer ways, and they are considering to link this PubMed journals through the Scopus database, and probably in future they will be able to fetch data of PubMed from Scopus. If you have some ideas regarding this, can you share some knowledge regarding this PubMed scenario which is going on from your university? Dr. Shetty, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello. Can you tell more about PubMed? What's strategies you are adopting for PubMed? Like there's still a thing which is happening is it gives only author ID and doesn't have affiliation ID. So how you link or what are your say for PubMed? Like NRF, they are able to fetch the data of PubMed, or how they are able to fetch? Are you able to know something about this?
Hello.
Hello.
Somebody from research directorate. Indran is there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Tell his.
Good afternoon, professors.
Yes.
Now, we all are very aware of the changing scenario when
Yes.
the government moved from looking at, from including PubMed into the, I should say, recognition. And that was, of course, consequent to the predatory journals that were also putting up all their articles into the PubMed.
Yes.
And therefore, what we have done is there is a UGC care list.
Yes.
And we have been encouraging in the university all the researchers to restrict themselves to Scopus, Web of Science, and also take cognizance of the UGC care list and not really gone into depth regarding the affiliation that is associated either with the author or with the institution.
Okay.
But we have all the the university name in their affiliation so that the recognition would come through that. And sometimes when it is missed through individual institutions being quoted, we stand to lose. So we have tried to educate them on that front. Okay.
Yeah, but when the NRF is giving you the data of how many publications have been accepted, so are they still counting the PubMed publications, or they are not able to fetch the PubMed publications because there is no link between how to tag publication ID with your PubMed articles. They only give by author ID.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So
And
are you also facing the same problem? Like
Hello.
yeah. We
Yeah.
have been facing briefly that problem, but then we have decided to, I should say, request for mostly to focus on Web of Science which are recognized, and therefore I am unable to answer this question at this point of time.
ORCID ID.
Okay.
Right, it is ORCID ID. Hello, this is Dr. Praveen Kumar Shetty here.
Yes, sir.
That
Yes,
is through ORCID ID. ORCID ID, they will give ORCID ID.
Oh, everybody doesn't understand.
Yeah. So, but the PubMed articles, they are unable to.
Yeah.
Publication.
Most of them will be giving ORCID ID.
Okay.
No, everybody understands.
Next thing we would like to is Dheeresh sir told us about the ICMR STS. Yes, we are getting good number of awards for the last 5 years, and every year we are getting 20
Srinivas,
STS.
rest of them people can mute their mics, otherwise there will be. When he is speaking, rest of the people can mute their mic.
Yes,
Inform.
yes. We are requesting everybody to mute their mic except the speaker.
Regarding the STS ICMR, we are since last 5 years getting good number of ICMR STS awards, and minimum 15 to 20 we are ranging in last 2-3 years. So that's a good news for us. And similarly now very deemed universities are working hard to see that the students get those ICMR STS awards, and they have increased it to 25,000 per year. So that's a good amount that we can do a small research, and we have made it mandatory for the students to those who receive the awards to publish. So we are not only considering that, but we are also requesting them to submit protocols for publications and review articles and final paper, because many times it happens that the students are only able to publish the full articles, and many of them fail because they are very busy with other academic activities, and many times they miss out publishing their final paper. So we are concentrating on those ICMR STS students to write for protocols for publication, and because they are ICMR funded, so the chances of getting accepted in good quality journals is much high. Particularly IJMR, Indian Journal of Medical Research, that's an journal of ICMR, they also accept such articles. So we have requested our students to apply for publication in for protocol publication or review articles, and as well as final. So that gives a good number of publications to us. Department wise, we are trying to link nursing, physiotherapy, Ayurvedic, like all other colleges, to work with medical colleges and have collaborative research. And probably your university is also trying to promote, and Professor Bhandari has told the challenges which the clinical departments have. So that's a challenge here as well. That is a great difficulty we face to motivate, promote, and give support to the clinical scientists, because they are poor in epidemiology or study design. So we have student guidance clinic where we promote clinical researchers to sit with us, discuss with us how to make study designs. And in your university, probably you all also facing the same problem. Then this COVID time, we had to think about how to take R&D ahead, and for this we gave some competitions on COVID competition, and there were a good number of students who gave a lot of good publication articles, and around more than 100 publications we are expecting just from COVID. That was a very good response from the university. So I think in future we can have
Postgraduates or postgraduates?
undergraduates, postgraduates, and faculties. It was open for all, and
100 papers.
yes, more than 100 will be published most likely. And we received those articles, and now we are requesting them to modify and giving suggestions through our internal reviewers. And probably in future we can have joint such type of competitions with your university, where your students and our students as well as faculties can work in such competitions. We gave small prizes. First
Yes.
prize was sort of like 50,000, 25,000, and 10,000 for 10 students. So depending upon like competition. So in future we can have such joint competitions, and that gives a big number, and we can have joint research publications as well that will promote and be a mutual beneficial help to both the universities. Now we are promoting more on rapid reviews, scoping reviews, systematic reviews, and meta-analysis. As it's COVID time, it's difficult for the students to enter in the hospitals because of the lockdown, and so that's a good way of taking publications during this COVID lockdown period. And the protocols, particularly, we are trying to promote for publication for the interventional studies. And there are split guidelines. You may have seen those guidelines which have come up very well. Split guidelines, they tell us about the interventional studies, and so they are published in good quality journals, and many journals are now started accepting 1 or 2 protocols per issue. So that's a way we are trying to promote protocols. So it's COVID time, and it's difficult to do original studies. So at least they can do publish protocols, publish rapid reviews, scoping reviews, and systematic review and meta-analysis. So this is the area where we are working.
You
And
got
we
a
have,
journal of the university?
Yeah, we have a Scopus index journal. Your journal is indexed in both, like Scopus as well as Web of Science. So the we can have your some articles, and we can submit some articles to your journal, so that can benefit both the universities. Also, we have some guest editors in our university. We can send some invitations to your authors. It is indexed in Scopus and PubMed on Web of Science, like current diabetes review and hypertension review, then open public health journal, and one dentistry journal. So they are Scopus and Web of Science indexed. So we can, if you share your authors' emails, then we can send an invitation to your authors, and they can submit in that journals, and they are that the authors can submit, and they can get accepted. So that can be a mutual benefit we can both universities have. Regarding this also, there were a lot of grants opportunities from COVID front, like ICSSR, BIRAC, DST, SERB. They gave good number of requests for public proposals, and also IUSSTF, like virtual network, US India endowment grant, ignition grant. So we were able to apply on those in this COVID period. So in that front, we had also applied for DST Fest, which was on deadline was on 15th of this May. So there are a lot of opportunities which are coming and will be coming. So we can share each other the funding opportunities, like Imprint to see. There's a consortium mode. We applied with IIT Kharagpur, and they have extended the date to 30th of June. It was till 30th May, but fortunately it was extended. So if such opportunities come, we can jointly go for such type of applications for grants. And we have a good networking with IIT Kharagpur, VNIT, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. So with me is Dr. Punit Fulzale. He is working on IPR and patents, copyright, and the person in IIT Kharagpur, he is in charge of patents. and we all are falling short of having good number of patents. So joint patents, we can evolve some strategies how we can go for startups, joint startups. We are also being funded by DST on NewGen, Innovation Entrepreneurship Development Center. We are a center in which we'll be giving around 15 to 20 students 2.5 lakhs per year, small seed grants, and then from there we can go for startups. And the government, the DST will be supporting us through this center to open up startups. We will be the incubation center. And I'd like to Dr. Puneet to share some of his experiences for this copyrights and patents.
Hello everyone, Dr. Puneet here.
Welcome, sir.
So I'm basically I'm working on IPR for the university. So we are taking care of the IPR matters of the university. Just to give an overview, we have about 77 patents which we have filed. We have about 3 granted patents and around 250 granted registered copyrights with us in various fields, from medical education to protocols and other things. And we'll definitely be happy to collaborate on the part of joint patents as well as other things. And we are also working on medical devices. So as Kazi sir told you, so we have the NewGen IDC as well as the Medical Innovation Cell. And we are working mainly on medical devices and implants, or say autogenous or bone tissue replacement implants. So along with VNIT Nagpur, we have been able to actually develop a bone substitute which can be 3D printed with micro as well as macro structural modifications. So what we can have is the internal bone morphology and external morphology of the defect which we are planning to treat during a surgery. So we have done also some trials on that, and we have got appreciating results wherein the patient was able to gain the...
It's from the dental college or orthopedics?
Both sides, sir. We have also, we have tried that neuro as well as wherein the bones, craniotomy cases. We have tried there also. We have tried in dental cases also. Small bone defects, we have able to also got some funding from ICMR to take this project forward, and jointly with IIT Kharagpur, and we are going forward into that. So that's from my side. We are also working on medical devices.
Any ventilator related work you have done?
So actually, we are multidisciplinary team is working on ventilator-related work, but we are not at a very successful stage right now on that. But hopefully, we'll be somewhere in next few months.
Okay.
We will also like to hear from your end, sir, how in this COVID time the R&D was able to move ahead and how they were able to make big steps like under you, and how we can in future collaborate and work. Yeah.
Okay. Who will? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Praveen is there? Hello. Indrani. Srinivas Bhatt.
Yes.
ಯಾರಿಗೊಬ್ರು ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಪ್ರವೀಣ್ ಇಂದ್ರಾಣಿ ಇದ್ದಾರಾ? ಪ್ರವೀಣ್
Hello, sir.
ಮಾತಾಡಿ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಿರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ನೀವು.
Yeah. So we are working on various fields. We have in different research centers here. So we have Central Research Laboratory under KSAC Medical Academy, and NITTE University Center for Research and Education. So that is exclusively for research. So high impact research we are taking up in Luxor. and with different clinical departments. So we are taking up different research projects. So we are writing to DST, DBT, ICMR. So currently we are having many projects. And also the publication wise, so year and year we are increasing our impact. So madam is there, so madam also can answer. Hello.
Hello, thank you, Dr. Praveen. So, I'm sorry that I had to take a break as there is a call from the Department of Biotechnology. I would like to inform you that there has been awareness in a very big way in the university through various programs. To start with, at the undergraduate level, the competition Anveshan is very popular in the university, and we have been also very lucky in being able to get prize at the national level after having gone through the regional level on 2 consecutive years. Apart from that, the projects that are run in the university relate from basic to applied, but with a translational mode as far as possible. And then our own association between basic researchers and the clinical researchers has been resulting in projects that will be, I should say, of great relevance, sometimes over a period of time, if not immediately, because the long-term objectives show that there are ample opportunities, especially with a hospital which is very vibrant here. As regards COVID times, yes, we deeply appreciate everything that Dr. Zahir mentioned. There have been a lot of calls from all the funding agencies relevant to COVID, and there have been a large number of projects that have been submitted. But we are also aware, I'm sure just the way you have been also submitting, that BIRAC projects have found favor only with the companies that have submitted. Most of the results are out as regards BIRAC. Big companies that have been participating have been successful, very limited number though. But projects submitted to ICMR, to DST, they are awaited, the results are awaited. As regards the present status of research in the university, the collaborative mode that you speak of is very much appreciated by us, because I think at the national level, we have been recipients of a very large number of projects from funding agencies with a strong support from bilateral funding. So we have projects with several countries, such as Belgium, France, Germany, then also from Japan and from the US. Various departments of this university have been participating. But as researchers, none of us would be ever satisfied with everything, what anything can be done. We would be very happy to do more and more, and joining hands for betterment of our universities and for understanding of the students. I think we would be also very happy, because this is our Vice Chancellor's vision of coming together with universities of standing, so that the coming together can result better in looking at every problem in areas which are demographically different, which have different strengths in whatever is being done. So from the university, there is a very big share of intramural grants that are given to the undergraduates, the postgraduates for their research, and also to faculty. In giving these grants, it comes with a rider that at the end of it, they must preferably come out with a publication. We realize for a good paper to come out, sometimes a year is not enough, but we are also happy to state that good impact factor journals have been always tried by all the researchers of this university. The coming together of our sister institutions in the engineering sector and the medical colleges have resulted in medical devices being considered one important area. So listening from you about the patents, I think we have opportunity even in working on medical devices where some headway has been made here. Regarding IPR and patents, yes, a few patents, about 11 patents have been applied so far, but it is catching up with a large number of people realizing that what they have been doing to date is patentable. So the first step in patent was making most of our scientists, doctors, and everyone else in the university realize that what they were doing was patentable, because very often the word patent was considered very hi-fi research. But today we realize that novel ideas can come right from the precincts of a small classroom where undergraduates or postgraduates may be working. And in fact, our Vice Chancellor holds the first patent of this university. And since he is a recipient of it, his encouragement also has been something that can be quoted for all other than the university to follow. And regarding publications, yes, I think the aim has been to have high-end publications, and that personally we are satisfied, but as researchers you would agree, at the helm of affairs, none of us feel satisfied with what happens. And the day we think we have achieved everything, I think that will be the end. And therefore, the feeling that we have not done enough is probably the force that is pushing us to do even better. I'm very happy to hear everything that you all are doing. And just as you have mentioned, we would also be very happy to come together. The kind of projects that we do is available on our website, and that will also let you have a look at the extramural funding that is happening here, as also contractual funding coming through industries for carrying out specific research topics. Thank you.
Yes. Any Behre, hello, you can ask Behre to give some concluding remarks.
Any question and answer sessions also?
Yeah.
You have something.
There is one question about the publication fees. How the university is managing about the publication fees?
Jair can answer. Jair, would you like to have?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. First is like for impact factor more than 2, we are giving whatever processing fee is being requested by the authors, but they should get prior sanctioning from the authorities. For normal Scopus and Web of Science, we are giving some processing fees to all the constituent colleges, faculties. If it is in one indexing, we are giving around 5,000 to 7,000 average, and if it's indexed in both Scopus as well as Web of Science, then giving even around 10,000 to 12,000 rupees. So it depends upon the processing fee, and majority of the publications do happen in India journals in this range. So this is the way we are working.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Jair.
Yes. Over to Bhairav.
Cooperation between the psychiatry of the departments of the two colleges.
Yes,
Psychiatry department.
good idea. But what happened, the last date of 15th May, I submitted the project. We could have done that joint venture. But anyway, subsequently, if anything comes, either from the ICMR or the DST or anything, we can submit joint project. Although, what happened, in the government sector, they give priority to the government sector rather than private institution. It is difficult to get a grant, but it is not that difficult. We can get the grant. So future, we'll submit joint proposal. And then see, I'll in touch with the psychiatry HOD and director R&D. So on the whole, this is the first interaction, Zoom meet, and I'm thankful to Dr. Satish, my friend, and who was very.
Examiner, unfortunately, due to COVID, could not. We were supposed to come as examiner.
Yeah, I was supposed to come.
Even Abhay and Kazi also were there in the list of examiners. So it would have been a very nice opportunity to exchange ideas. still, it's. I think this webinar has made us to come closer. I think we should take it forward. The Department of Psychiatry, 2 departments, and community medicine also. We have got MPH program here, and they are also participating in this webinar. I think they are listening to you. And our researchers, all there are 6 research laboratories.